that's going to take us to our favorite segment, brought to you as always by One Legacy Title and Escrow in Jacksonville, Florida. Follow them on Instagram at One Legacy Florida and visit them at onelegacyflorida.com to see how they can help you with your next house closing. One Legacy Title and Escrow, because your legacy matters. This week we went kind of on a different route here. We each had a task to create our own salary cap compliant NHL roster, like our favorite, who we would want if we gave us the salary cap, which we somewhat contentiously determined was $95 million total for your roster. So it has to be a full 23-man roster, you know, three scratches, three goalies.
I thought you said 2.
3 healthy scratches.
You said 2.
You said 2.
You said 2.
You said 2. We'll go read back through the text.
Well, because one of the scratches is your third goalie.
You said...
You said 2 scratches.
Yeah, you said 2 healthy scratches, Nick.
An NHL roster is 23 players.
Well,
and 20 of them dress. Whoever it is you want to dress who you want. There's 20 people who dress.
We know that, but that's not what you said to do.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Just saying, wear it.
You said a full active roster, including 2 healthy scratches.
Yes, because the other healthy scratch is your third goalie, so I didn't think I had to specify that, but whatever. It's fine.
All right,
you
next
should have
lineup is illegal.
You should have 23 people on your roster. What, you guys had 22 people?
That is a violation.
That is a violation.
We'll just say my third scratch is IR. He's not healthy at all.
Right.
That's what I'll do. My third goalie is
it's Mark
IR.
Stone.
I have 1
You only have 2 goalies.
We only have 2 goalies.
But you have an extra skater.
We have 2 healthy scratches and a starting goalie and a backup goalie.
Okay.
Correct.
So you just whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. That's fine. Your 23rd player is a
Tim Thomas is hurt.
All right. Who wants to give their? Let's go through your 4 lines, your D pairings, your goalies, and then your scratches.
Gladly, I will go first.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna set the bar
shit.
so you guys.
Holy shit.
Yeah, holy shit. There's a presentation.
Oh, God.
So this is my cap compliant team with a $95 million ceiling. I was under the impression we were doing an $88 million ceiling. Stevie came in at the last second and changed it while I was on the golf course. Thanks a lot. So I had no time to prepare for an additional $7 million. Okay, so here we go. This is my cap compliant team. We're going to start off with forward line 1. Forward line 1. Welcome to the fucking show. At left wing, we have Jason Robertson. His salary, $7.75 million. We'll total all this up at the end. It all makes sense. We have Nathan McKinnon at center, Brandon Duhaime on right wing. I got Jason Robertson and Nathan McKinnon speak for themselves. I need somebody out there with them that A, is not going to eat up a lot of the salary cap, and B, is also going to be just a hard, grinded out skater. Brandon Duhaime, in the time that I've seen him in Washington, that's what you get out of him, right? He knows he's not the flashiest player. He knows he's not the most skilled player. I believe this is a guy that's going to complement Jason Robertson and Nathan McKinnon. He's also going to be the guy that's going to go out and probably, step up and step between them and somebody else. Okay, so I got Brandon Duhaime at right wing. Line two, we got Kirill the Thrill Kaprizov going for $9 million. We have Macklin Calabrini, an absolute steal on a rookie contract, and then we have Alex Tuck on the right wing. Again, I think this is a line that is, in terms of eliteness, is not far behind my first line. Big fan of how all 3 of these guys play. I'm also a very, very big fan of Macklin's first year in the league, especially being in San Jose of all places. I really, really enjoyed what I saw out of him this year. And I think that the one argument you would have for him and probably some of the other younger guys on my team that are going to be on rookie contracts is going to be, you have the young guy curve, right? You have the learning curve there, right? There's no evidence that they're going to be able to reproduce what they're doing. It could just be a lucky freshman year, but I think the future is very, very bright for him, and quite frankly for the rest of this line here. Line number 3, give me Brendan Saad on the left wing, Ryan Leonard, again, another rookie, coming out of Boston College that I've really enjoyed watching play in Washington. And then I got Anthony Mantha from the Penguins. Watching him in the playoffs here, this is gonna be some recency bias, but watching what he did for Pittsburgh in the playoffs this year was so much fun. I really, really enjoyed, and I do believe I kinda shit on Pittsburgh early on, uh, in the NHL season, saying that they weren't doing Sid the Kid justice and that they kind of were just mailing it in. But watching what Anthony Mantha was doing was really fun to watch.
Yeah,
Um,
Mantha's always been a highly touted
yeah,
prospect going back to I think Detroit is where he was before he went to DC.
yeah,
But he was always one of those guys that was like, oh, this guy has like 40 goal potential. So
yes,
he's
he does.
always had the skill.
Yes, yeah, you're absolutely right. The skill's always been there, and he's a lot of fun to watch. Um, Fourth line, I got Taylor Hall at the left wing, for obvious reasons. I got Dylan Holloway playing center, and I got Garnett Hathaway. Garnett Hathaway's in this lineup, frankly, because I need somebody who's going to go out and just chuck knucks. I need a guy who's not afraid with going out and starting and finishing a little Donnybrook. And that's what you get with Garnett Hathaway. You're going to get a guy who will get you a handful of goals, maybe, if you're lucky over the course of a season, but he is going to be a brute force enforcer, right? If you have guys that are messing with any line, you can plug and play him anywhere. As you can see, I've left a lot of room um, throughout my lines to be able to plug and play Garnett Hathaway where he needs to go. Um, Taylor Hall, again, obviously, like I said, speaks for himself. He plays in Carolina. He's really good. He's a veteran of the league. He's going to be a good locker room guy. In Dylan Holloway, I just got mad respect for that guy's game. I mean, it's impressive to watch what that guy can do. Also, he played with McDavid, right? He played with McDavid for a little bit. So, I mean, you got that going for you as well. D line pairing 1, I got Charlie McAvoy and I got Cole Hudson. Cole Hudson, rookie contract. You can see how he doesn't even have an official NHL photo yet. This is his picture from college. That's how young he was. But watching the short, again, rookie contract, so it's a steal for me. But watching what he was able to do in Washington with limited time and limited experience in the pros was enough for me to pick him. Charlie McAvoy, we're going to pair him with Cole Hudson because I need a veteran who's going to be able to just kind of pick up the slack and, assist with that learning curve in his D partner. Line 2, you can see there's not a lot of room here. I got Jacob Chikrin and Shane Gostisbehere, the ghost, as some call him.
Ghost Bear.
I
Yeah,
do like Goss
yeah.
Despair.
I see. So Gostisbehere
Great name.
at one point when he was coming up on free agency, he was favorited to go to Washington, and when he didn't, I was very disappointed. I love the Ghost. And then Jacob Chikrin, obviously, you have a guy who can play on the blue line, can quarterback a power play, can play on the shorthanded lines. He's going to add a little bit of offense. I think in this day and age of the NHL, yes, we say offensive defensemen don't win you Stanley Cup games, but they can lose you Stanley Cup games. Um, but you got to have some sort of production from the blue line. And Jacob Chikrin's stats this year indicate that he is all for not just scoring goals from the blue line, but also generating a good amount of assists with his cycles and
Yeah, I
his
was gonna say
wheels.
Chikrin. I think gets unfairly labeled as an offensive
Yeah.
defenseman. I think he's a solid two-way defenseman. I
Hmm.
because his offensive game stands out. Like
Hmm.
sometimes you see those guys and you go, "Whoa, man, he just did something that these other defensemen can't do." I believe he's a very solid
Yeah.
defender.
He was a great pickup. I believe we got him from Arizona. Um, Uh, but yeah, he's been a lot of fun to watch, and it was awesome to have him and John Carlson on the same line. Back when Carlson was still in DC, and then Goss Despair is just that's a fucking brute force, man. Watch any shift that guy plays for Carolina, and I guarantee you're going to see some really tight puck movement, and he's also going to throw the body around a little bit as well. He'll finish his checks. Really, really solid player there. And frankly, for 3.1 mil, I think that's a steal. D line 3. I got Luke Shen and Brent Burns. You got to have a Brent Burns type on your team. You got to have a Luke Shen type on your team. Why not stick them together? I'm just a big fan of both of these guys. Brent Burns has been kind of a rambling man lately. So you see he is kind of like on that,
He
like,
looks like a nomad.
yes, yeah, right. Yeah.
Isn't he the oldest skater in the NHL?
I believe he is. He might wait, is he older than Ovi?
I swore I heard he's the oldest skater in the
Let's get
NHL.
somebody on that, because that's interesting if he is. He doesn't look it. But yeah, I do really, really enjoy Brent Burns' game. That's a guy who, like, he doesn't care about his appearance. He's willing to risk it all just to block a shot. Give me Brent Burns and Luke Shen on that last D pairing. For my goalies, I mean, if you're not picking Connor Hellebuck to be your starting goalie, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. So both of you are on notice if you don't have him. And for 8.5 mil, I do think that's actually a steal. This is the greatest
I do
goalie
too.
the United States of America has ever seen. So you got to have this guy on
By
your
the way,
team.
Brent Burns is 41 and Ovi's
Oh,
40.
okay, all right.
41.
He doesn't look it.
It's incredible.
And yeah, and to play as hard and as successful as he does, wow, good for Brent Burns. And then my backup goalie to Connor Hellebuck is a guy who I'm suffering from a little bit of recency bias. Alex Lyons is incredible to watch. This is a guy who was sharing starts all season in Buffalo with Luukkonen. And after Luukkonen gets tuned up for 4 goals against Boston, Alex Lyon has stepped up into the starting role and has not shown any sign that he's going to surrender that role back to Luukkonen. They were sharing starts all year. I think Alex had I think 34 starts, and I believe Luukkonen had 37 starts or something like that. So they were very back and forth, kind of like what you were talking about earlier, Nick. Um, with the 2 goalies you brought up, I can't remember who was it. The Canadians goalie?
Yes,
Yeah,
Montreal.
yeah, Dubesh, right?
Yeah, Dobish and Montembeau,
Yeah.
and I thought they had a third guy in the mix.
Probably. But I mean, this is just to rise to the top and to show and flaunt your stuff when it matters most in the Stanley Cup playoffs for a team that, like, frankly, is quite overdue for a series win against a team that, like, has just always been notoriously very, very good against Boston. So yeah, I gotta have him backing up Connor Hellebuck. Um, for my healthy scratches, I went with a couple of, I didn't put Nolan Foot's salary in there. I think he's like
Yeah.
750K, whatever. I'm below the 95 that we raised it up to for no reason. But so forward, I got Hendrik Lapierre. It's a good plug and play player, great speed, able to go in and get it done. He can play on the wing, he can play at the center spot. For 850K. And then I got Nolan Foot from Florida, who can also be a very good plug and play player as well. Now, just to break it down, bottom line price, I spent $87.81 million, which is obviously below whatever the limit is that we're just arbitrarily deciding for no reason.
Okay, no, we're not arbitrarily deciding. I want this on the record. You picked the 24-25 season salary cap, not the 25-26 salary cap. And by the way, next year's salary cap goes up to 100, I think 4 million or
Cool.
106 million.
Cool. Well,
It's
I hated
104
this
million next
exercise.
year.
I hated this exercise. We're not doing it again.
The salary cap for 25-26 is 95.5 million.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, let's just announce it at the last hour while I'm on the golf course and can't change my team. All right, so let's go by the numbers real
You
quick.
should have known
Let's
it.
go a little more. Let's go by the numbers. So this
Do you
team,
want to add a third goalie, by the way? Because you have like 9 million.
I don't need one. I don't need one for the
Oh,
afterlife.
you did a whole by the numbers.
Yeah.
Okay.
So by the numbers, this team, going off of their 2025-2026 stats, amassed 387 goals, 557 assists for a total of 944 individual player points. This is 124 more points than the President's Trophy winning Avalanche from this season. So I feel very, very good about the team I've assembled here. Given that I have good goal scorers, I have guys that can move the puck. the NHL and ESPN don't officially track and give a sortable stat for hits, but I know that this team is amassing over 1,000 hits in a season easily. That's I swear to God, that's bond, brother. That is so true. This team is amassing over 1,000 hits in a given season, so I have no doubt that this team is a deep playoff contender. That is my presentation. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's see what kind of effort you bozos put up with your $95 million. Thank you for the snaps. I appreciate it. It's hot in here.
All right, boy, go.
I definitely didn't have that, but I do have a little spreadsheet
Oh,
that I
God.
wanted to go with. Okay,
Oh,
so
my
I
pocket
did.
Zoom
protector.
in. Zoom.
Well, I
You can't.
your presentation looked really good. I will say that.
Thank you.
Looked
I put a
very,
lot of
very
effort
good.
into it.
Yeah.
The
All right,
Prime
so
Canvas subscription is worth every penny.
I went. So my philosophy here was one, I wanted the stars that I wanted, right? So I was going to spend the money on a couple of the guys that I wanted. Two, I wanted to go with speed. So one of my stars that I really loved was Matthew Tkachuk, but Tkachuk is slow as shit. So I needed to balance that out with some speed, which is why I got Martin Necas
Okay.
as my center, playing with Tkachuk, and Adrian Kempe as my right winger playing there. I then went with Hagel, another speed guy, Macklin Celebrini as a center there, and then Matt Boldy as my right winger for line 2. Line 3, I went with Jesper, and then I went with Connor Bedard, and then my right winger, Tom Wilson, just for you, Kamlo, because I needed to get another toughness person, because a lot of speed guys, the guy
That
throw
is
another
a
toughness.
lot of money for Tom Wilson. I'm not going to lie to you. That's a
It
lot of
is.
money for a third line right wing.
It is. Yes, it
You
is.
say that, but to be honest with you, the more I look through some of these salaries and all these players,
I was shocked at
that-
how high the salaries were.
that doesn't seem that egregious to me, because for what Wilson brings for your team that are intangible things, right? And lest we forget, he's a former first round pick. He's extremely skilled. So he's not a straight goon, Alice. You're not paying $6.5 million for a goon. You're
No,
paying $6.5 million
he's
for a
pretty
true
good.
power forward who will do all of the things that no one wants to do.
I also think like it makes a whole lot of sense. I'm assuming all of us will have Celebrini because of how cheap he is. Like you have to go with those rookie contracts. That's why I went Bedard as well.
Yeah, I mean, having the two of them up there.
Yeah, I wanted to go like, psychopath meets speed meets skill here a little bit. And then there's a couple guys here which I don't even know if I can pronounce their names. Pavel Dorofiev. Yeah, that guy. Cutter
Gauthier.
Gauthier. Okay, there we go. And
Gesundheit.
Jackson Blake. I can pronounce Jackson Blake.
There you go. Yeah.
But that'll be my fourth
Way to
line there.
finish strong.
Yeah, that'll be my fourth line. And then go into my defenseman, Jacob Slavin. I love Jacob Slavin. I just think he's he's probably my favorite defenseman in the NHL. I think he's Secdef. Exactly. I love Jacob Slayton, but I wanted to pair him with Quinn Hughes because as Nick has pointed out several times about offensive defensemen not winning you Stanley Cups. But if I compare him with Jacob Slavin, I feel like I can balance it out, and I get
Quinn Hughes is
Quinn
also
Hughes
a different
factor.
beast since he moved to Minnesota.
I agree with that.
He's a different beast. He's happy. He's happy.
And then I think you had Kamala. I think you had Lane Hudson.
I had Cole Hudson.
Oh, you had Cole Hudson.
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
sorry.
yes.
But I think they cost the exact same
Yeah,
amount.
they're both on that rookie contract stuff.
On the rookie contract. So I went with Lane Hudson, Thomas Harley. Thomas Harley, is it Tomas?
Just go Thomas.
Thomas.
Trader is what. He's an American who played for the Canadian team.
Benedict Arnold.
Gotcha. Okay.
Probably
should have put him on that team.
That's
and
fine.
then Jake McCabe. and Darren Radish.
So
Yes,
Radish,
Radish is a
Radish
good
at 9.75, I thought
steal.
was a steal.
yes, an absolute
Agreed.
steal. Absolute steal.
I
What a
had
value pick.
I was shocked
That's Costco
that he was
wholesale
that
right there.
because I was looking at there was a lot of defensemen. They were all in that like 6.5 to 8.5 range, and I was like, why is this person worth that? And then I found Radish, and I was like, he's only worth that. So had to go with Radish. And then Hellebuck, obviously, Kamal, you pointed out,
Yeah.
you have to have him.
You have to have Connor Hellebuck. If you don't,
Yes.
Nick has a look on his
and then
face like he didn't pick
Nick's
Connor
because
Hellebuck.
of course he didn't because he went with some random.
Not random.
I went with
It's-
backup goalie Vladimir Dostoevsky, who
Nick's
Just
playing
released
Moneyball
from the
over here.
Kremlin.
I'm sorry, you still have your healthy scratches to go through. Go through them real quick, but I have some thoughts on your lineup.
Well, I had my backup goalie Dan Vladar.
Vladar.
Yes.
I did see him. He played for Philly.
You
Still
last
better
playing.
night,
check
so-
yourself, boy.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Isn't he Czech? Dan Vladar.
Probably.
Thank you for that. And then
You
my
were
healthy
threatening
scratches.
your brother.
Yeah, Danila Yurov,
Mm-hmm. Value
And-
pick.
Lundqvist.
Yeah. So
Nils.
scroll
So-
back up to your forwards real quick. So something that I really like, and like again, if we had more viewers, I feel you would have probably caught flack for a lot of these picks, but they're sneaky good picks. Martin Necas, not a guy who moves a lot of merch outside of his team arena, right? I feel like a lot of people aren't going to talk about and put a lot of respect on Martin Necas. Martin Necas, who finished, I think, tied for 7th in points. He had 100 points this season. Elite center. Matt Boldy is another one. Sneaky pick
Yes.
coming out of Minnesota. That is another guy who I believe was top 20 in points, a 40 goal scorer this year.
It's another Team USA guy.
Yes. Adrian Kempe, another name. I think that is probably your biggest name outside of Matthew Tkachuk, but a lot of people weren't talking about Matthew Tkachuk this year because of his injuries. But Adrian Kempe was another really, really good pick. You have a lot of really sneaky picks, and I love that you put Jesper Bratt on there. Great pick. That's a ball knower pick right there. I always am able to sneak him in my fantasy hockey leagues because people just forget about him. That is a consistent point scorer.
Yes.
Week to
I
week.
also what I did was I pulled up NHL 26's like overalls and what their attributes were,
Mhm.
and I filtered it to have speed as the top attribute because
Yeah.
I was like, I
Al
need
Davis. This is your Raiders. Darius Hayward Bay team.
Yeah, I needed some speed. Yeah, but I like the name recognition. I did know all these guys except for probably that
Mhm.
fourth line.
Yeah. I mean,
And that's when I needed some
your team is very consistent top to bottom, right? I think for the most part, if for your 4 forward lines, you have a bunch of guys who are minimum scoring 65 to 70 points minimum. And I really do appreciate the consistency because that is, I think, the mark of a very true plug and play team where you can mix and match based on play styles if you need to. But for the most part, that team is just going to be consistently hammering and threatening for 60 minutes.
I wanted correct. That's what I wanted. Attack,
Mhm.
attack, and I wanted the like speed meet psychopath
Mhm.
like that fine line that you have there. But I did build this a certain way, which I'm happy in my build that
Mhm.
it is like okay, this team has an identity type thing.
I mean, another Cutter Gauthier, another 40 goal scorer this year in Anaheim. I mean, he's part of a big reason why that team is relevant again, right? Tied for 53rd in points with 69 points on the season. I mean, that's
a lot of what I did
It's
too as
all.
well was look at the rosters of the teams that are in the playoffs right
Yeah.
now and go take
smart.
some of their cheaper guys and then look at their stat lines.
Yeah.
Like Cutter, like Jackson Blake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Great
Pavel
team. That's
as
a great
well.
team.
So that's my team. I'll stick to it. I
Mhm.
like it. We should build these
On
I
NHL
was
and
just about to say, is there some way
next
we could have like a created team and we put them all three through like a simulated season, all in the same like
yes.
conference or division?
Yes.
I've done it before. That was a long time ago.
Send me your lineups. I'll do it. I'll do it.
All right, you sure you want mine?
I'll do it.
Oh, I'll do it. I'll do it.
That was very good.
Yankee Clipper and Paper Bitch on the case.
Yeah. I thought for sure you were going to be looking at I thought you were going to look at like the Senators and pick like a Drake Batherson type player. That would have been a sick pick. Drake Batherson doesn't get the respect he deserves, but it's a very, very
There
good.
were a few guys where I thought like, I really like this guy. Let's see what he like. I feel like he's pretty underrated.
Mhm.
And then I see him like, oh no, he's very well compensated. Like a couple guys that were in like the 10 to 11 mil. I'm like, I can't afford that.
To be honest, for me, one of those was Chikrin.
Yes.
I couldn't afford him because I assumed, I was like, oh, this guy's gotta be underrated. Didn't know what, no, I was like, oh shit, I can't afford him. So my team
rookie contracts, I think, was the way to do it.
Yes, there's only one player that was on all of our teams. And
Macklin Celebrini.
Yes, correct. So my line one,
that means no Hellebuck. That means no Hellebuck.
Which is outrageous.
It's absolutely outrageous.
Because he probably was like, I'm going to pay Henrik Lundqvist to come back out of retirement.
So my first line, center's Brady Tkachuk, my, alternate captain. My left winger, my captain is Gabriel Landeskog, my captain, left wing. Right wing, I have Macklin Celebrini there for line one. Line two, I have that power line in Montreal. Nick Suzuki, also alternate captain. Yuri Slafkovsky and Cole Caulfield from.
Wait, you just grabbed that whole line from Montreal.
Cole Caulfield. Am I supposed to? Is he from Denver? Like, is he a pioneer?
Wisconsin.
You're an animal.
Wisconsin.
Yes, I took that entire line from Montreal.
This. Thank you.
Suzuki, Slafkovsky, and Caulfield. That's my line two.
You picked the Conehead line.
Yep. Line three, my center's Logan Stankoven.
Good pick.
Massive bargain. Not even 900,000 for Stankoven. Left wing, one of my favorite players of all time is Matt Zuccarello, the Norwegian.
Yeah,
I knew that
New
was
York. New York has
there.
rued the day that they got rid of him. I mean, that's a glue guy. You need a Matt Zuccarello.
There's multiple players on this team that are like that they shouldn't have gotten rid of. And my right winger my right wing on line three is Tom Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I don't think
so we each have Wilson on line three as a right winger there.
That's where he belongs.
I don't think to be honest, truly 6.5 is overpaying for him. I don't think so because of what he brings and helps your team. Line four, my center is Eetu Luostarinen from the Panthers, the Finnish hard-nosed center. And my wingers are the Folignos, Marcus Foligno and Nick Foligno.
Yeah.
Are my
love
fourth
a good
line.
Foligno matchup.
Yes. My defensive pairings, my first one is Cale Makar, who's my assistant. I'm one of my other assistant captains, alternate captain.
That
surprises the hell out of me.
Why would you go with him?
He's got money to spend.
Best defenseman in the world.
Best scoring defenseman in the world.
He is solid defensively. It's not the best part of his game, but he is solid defensively. And I paired him with Jackson Lacombe from Anaheim, who's
after Lacombe passed up that open net,
I don't care.
I wasn't going to put him on mine because I looked at him as well as a possibility.
It's not a loss if you learn from it. It becomes a lesson. My defensive pairing number two
took a loss in the playoffs when you lose the game.
Okay. It took this one straight from Carolina, Jacob Slavin and Keandre Miller. Another
I
player.
knew you would have Keandre Miller. We talked about him a couple weeks ago. I love Keandre
Rangers,
Miller.
for God's sakes. Like, seriously, like his cap hit, what is it? It's a lot, but 7.5. But then the Rangers
that's why I didn't go with Yeah, that's why I didn't go with
But then
him.
the
I looked
Rangers
at him
turned
as
around and
well.
spent that or more on whoever was it Gavrikov that they
Yes.
got? So you got
Yes.
some Russian bum, and you got rid of Keandre Miller. By the way, Keandre Miller from
Is he from Wisconsin?
Wisconsin, right? Get rid
Yeah.
of him.
Keandre Miller's worth every penny. He's worth
Shocker, his team's still playing, and your team's sitting at home.
didn't even have a
Rangers, so
chance to play.
yeah. So Jacob Slavin, and Keandre Miller is my deep pairing too. And my third deep pairing,
You have Trouba.
more Canadians. Lane Hudson, who I'm very high on.
Yes.
He's fantastic. And then another one of my goons I have to have in here, Arbor Jack Guy.
Okay.
Straight. Well, I believe third in the league in penalty minutes. That's all I needed to hear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Throw him in there with.
I gotta hear these goalies. I have to know who you're putting between the
my
pipes.
goalies, I have Freddie Anderson as my starter, and my backup is Jakob Dobish. Those are my two goalies.
You get to assemble a team and you pass up Hellebuck. I don't get it.
Because of the money aspect. Those two guys.
What's Freddie? What's
pick
Freddie
him
bringing
first?
Freddie Anderson is $2.75 million, and Dobish is $965,000. So literally, like, I spent so little.
But that's to me is the most important position. That's where I wanted. That's where I was okay spending as much money as
I have a question for you.
Once able to get Cale Makar, and
so once Nick finishes his list, I have a question for both of you.
Okay, but being taking that money there for Anderson and Dobesh allows me to have like the Felinos and Luosterainen and that whole Canadiens line, like in Makar.
I like the way my roster's built better with Hellebuck.
And my scratches, my third goalie is Brandon Busey, also for Carolina. Cole Hudson, I also had on my team, Comlo, as my seventh defenseman.
Big upside
keeping it in the
potential
family. And then, of course, Matt Rempe.
Yeah, I mean, you got to pick Matt Rempe.
Come on. It has to be Matt Rempe.
It's a good list.
It is my team. My coaches, by the way.
Oh, here
Barry
we go.
Trotz is my head coach. Head assistant or bench coach, your Don Zimmers, if you will, John Tortorella.
Yeah, it has
course.
to be Torts.
Defensive coach, Adam Foote, who's, I believe, now the head coach in Vancouver.
Yes, he is.
And then special teams coach, Glenn Gulutzin, and the head coach, I believe, for the Stars. And then I took the goaltending coach for the Hurricanes, Paul Schoenfelder, because I have two of the Hurricanes goalies as mine. So I thought that was
so
continuity wise.
That's great.
Not 94.94 million.
Nick just doing more shit than he asked for. I hired all these coaches. Really? Did you calculate them into your cap? Probably.
They don't count for it.
All right. So
yeah, they don't.
So this first off, this is a great thing to do in place of a favorites or a top five. When I was constructing my team, my thought process was there's two people at each position for forwards that I wanted, and then I had like three defenders in mind, and then I knew I wanted Hellebuck, and then I built my team around that. So that was kind of like if I went through like a draft in my head, right? It was like, okay, first I'm going to pick Nathan McKinnon. Okay, then I got to have Jason Robertson because this dude is just fucking elite. And then I knew I needed Macklin. I knew I needed Kirill. I knew I needed Chikrin and I needed the Ghost. And I knew I needed Hellebuck. And then the rest of it was like, I got to find a way to fill my roster out with guys that fit like what I'm trying to do with this core group of players and make it work money wise. And that's kind of how I went. That's kind of how I went through was I picked a couple of players at each position and then filled in around them with what I think the team would need for success. So I kind of want to hear about like what your processes were with how you picked your team.
That was my exact same process combo.
I had a feeling
I wanted my
ours would be the same.
And then I wanted the stars that were my favorites, and then how do I build the team around that to either like to match them or to complement them?
Yeah.
Right. That's how I went about it.
So mine was different.
We could tell.
First was the glue guys that I wanted. Your Folinos, your Tom Wilsons, Zuccarellos. Those are the first guys I thought of. Was the guys that I think I need to have to be successful, and then you know, basically looking at what their salary hits were and eliminating people, right? Like eliminating a Josh Anderson, saying, I don't need 5.5 million from him. I'd rather take the 6.5 for Tom Wilson. That type of thing. The Kachuk brothers, right? Have both of them there. Matthew Kachuk's hit was so high, 9.5 million. And Brady's is 8.2, which is very high as well. But that extra difference to me allows me to go and when you add that up, get the whole Canadiens line, the Suzuki, Slafkovsky, Caulfield line, which I mean, you can't laugh at that. The last 2 years have been arguably the most productive line in the league. So,
but to make concessions to go for a second line just seems your process just confuses the heck out of me.
But no, that I just had them as a second line. That could easily be the first line. You could switch out the first line. I have the first line because I have Kachuk and Landeskog and Celebrini, and to me,
I also thought the Landeskog pick was crazy because that dude is injury prone as hell, and you don't have anyone.
My captain, he's one of my favorite players.
He's got an assist.
Yeah, Colorado's just mowing through Minnesota right now.
Yeah, one of my favorite players
that
ever.
Line, man.
The guy to be able to come back from the injury he had in the rehab process and all that, for him to still be skating, to me warrants him being the captain of my team. So when Stevie upped the salary cap to 95 million,
I did up it. I did not up it. That is the NHL salary cap for this season.
Because I originally had Bedard in my lineup, and I'm not the biggest Bedard fan. And so upping that allowed me to, and it sounds crazy. Oh, how would you do? I made some other concessions, like getting Luostarinen, and Stankoven. Like those were things that I was able to do, manipulating the rise with the salary cap.
I mean, it's
changing like it did so quickly.
I still just have such a hard. I mean, like, granted, like it, like I don't want it to sound like I'm shitting on him. I like Gabriel Landeskog. I have a Gabriel Landeskog jersey shirt. Big fan of Gabriel Landeskog, but like for what his salary is right now, and if we're picking him right now, he's a guy who put up 35 points this season.
I don't care.
Yeah, I know you don't.
I want to win.
There's no reasoning.
He wins. He's a winner.
You guys send me your list. I'm going to plug these into an NHL team, and I'm going to have them play each other. We'll play 82 games against the three of us.
Are you able to put, because we have some guys that are the same?
Probably.
Are you able to?
Probably.
You should be able to. If you do a created team, and the created team is its own entity, and then when you
me and my roommates used to do this, where we would draft teams and then play against each other, and we would have a season that stemmed for like a whole semester. It was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then Nick's just over there mashing triangle.
Yeah, Nick's team. That's what's going to end up happening.
Oh yeah, I hope if my team does not lead the league in penalty minutes, I would be upset.
Cool.
I would be mad because that's the other thing too, right? Like you said, you want to tailor it to what you want it. So as you know, I want physicality, I want toughness, I want defense, but you also have to have that some of that balance, and that's where that Canadiens line comes in. The Coneheads, if you will.
I mean, the first criteria you mentioned, Stevie, was penalty minutes.
Yeah, I know. This is why you suck at playing NHL.
We're gonna simulate the games. So, I'm excited. I'm gonna do this. Okay.
This does sound like a lot of fun. We need to,
Yeah, this was fun. I hope you guys can get Dougie Fresh in here next week to fill in for me to do the NHL stuff or the NBA stuff.
NBA way, yes. I've already started filling in some of my goons.
Well, get ready. Stevie might change the cap on you.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Does
the NBA even have a cap? I feel like it moves all the time. Anyway.
I did not change the cap. That is the official cap.
Stevie was an angel investor in the NHL this week.